happened. And it was that era that I felt I really developed a good relationship with money.
Right. What attracted you to going into the business? I always love to understand.
Yeah, well, I was, I came from the UP in Michigan.
Yeah.
And I'm 54. So back then, up in the UP, we watched Gilligan's Island and Brady Bunch and Lost in Space and things like that. And there's no internet.
Right.
And very few people came to town.
Yeah.
And so we kind of lived in this small town, what's that little show, Andy Griffith show, the Maryville or whatever that town is.
Right.
Yeah, we were in this little black and white
right?
small town in rural Michigan. And so I don't even know if I saw a credit card before. Everybody used cash.
Right.
So when I went down to college, I had no experience with money whatsoever.
Right.
Discover Card was having the
free T-shirt?
Yeah,
Did they give you the choke bag, the T-shirt?
Oh, yeah, you got
right.
everything. And it was in the student lounge. And I got my credit card. And it wasn't a coincidence. Bauer was selling rollerblades out in the parking lot. And rollerblades were hot. They had never, I had never seen a rollerblade before. And I played hockey my whole life. And so I got my Discover card. I went outside. I bought my pair of rollerblades. It didn't take me too long. And I had a $2,000 credit limit. I maxed it out.
Yep.
And then you got student loan debt and stuff. And I didn't do well with money.
Right.
And so one day I saw a sign on the wall for an internship at a financial planning firm. I thought, I'm gonna go do this. Maybe I'll figure something out. It's got to be easier than what I'm doing.
Right.
And so that's how I got into it.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting, and the reason why I ask is there's obviously you get multiple different answers, but the fact that you knew you were having this experience with money, and you kind of knew you weren't doing it right, and I put air quotes around that.
Yeah.
But then you were like, okay, let me be open. I'm going to go for this job and maybe I'm going to learn more. Whereas I applaud you for that because a lot of people, when that happens, they just become a bigger adverse to it, right?
Yeah.
They're, I don't know it. I'm not good at it and I'm not going to do it again. Or I'm not going to even try to go learn because maybe it's not for me to learn. Or maybe it's not for my kind. Or maybe it's not available to me. Or I'm just never going to get it. And so that probably really helps you in your role strictly because when you tell that story very authentically, very genuinely, you resonate with people. Whereas what I like to call the masters of the universe, the people who tout themselves as always been great at money, know everything about money, nobody can relate to those people.
Right.
So that
I still have the rollerblades too.
Right.
I think I'll bring them and put them in a frame and put them up on the wall.
Right, because they're like $12,000 rollerblades after interest.
Yeah, I'm never getting rid of those.
I have a gentleman who tells a story about his Chase T-shirt when he got his Chase credit card, and it's he's 30-year-old, but he's like, it has holes. I'm never getting. This is the most expensive T-shirt I own. Yeah. So you hear all kinds of stories like that.
Maybe it was the most valuable purchase I ever made. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, listen,
changed the whole direction of my life.
And that reframe really helps us because remember, around money, there is often shame and guilt. And what you did was you reframed your shame and guilt. You were like, okay, I did this. I'm not going to throw myself and put my head in the sand and decide. And now here you are 30 years later, you can see it as let me frame these things because they taught me something. And obviously you're here now. You figured out a way to get out of that. And I hope that if anybody listening gets the opportunity to take any situation in their life that maybe they're looking at and they're like, oh, this is a mess, or oh, I did this wrong. If they could get to, it's not going to happen overnight, but over time, get to a place where they can be proud of their mistake because of what it's taught them, that's a home run, right? That's where we see real change.